Hello everybody and welcome to this week's assembly. This week's assembly is all about building a growth mindset. I'll explain what that means in a moment. First of all, do you ever think like this? Either I'm good at something or I'm not. I can't learn now, it's too late. There's no point in trying if I'm going to fail. I take feedback as a personal attack. I always struggle with whatever problem. I feel threatened, intimidated by the success of others. Now, many of these are quite natural kind of human thoughts and instincts, you may say, but they are all synonymous with what we call a fixed mindset. And I'll explain that in this assembly. So today, it's all about thinking about what you want to achieve in life and how your mindset and the way you approach it can help you to do that. So what is a growth mindset? It's based on a theory put forward by a psychologist from America called Carol Dweck. She worked at some of the most illustrious universities in the world, not only America but the world too, Columbia, Harvard and Stanford. Dweck became fascinated with the behaviour of her students, some of whom were devastated by small setbacks, while others rebounded quickly. She was really fascinated by that. When she was teaching her students and running seminars, and doing assessments, for example, she was captivated by this notion that some people seem to get on with things really, and yet others class setbacks as major things, and it really does set them back. So that's really the basis of her work. She wanted to investigate why that was the problem, and what are those characteristics in people that make them feel and think that way. Her book on mindset, which I showed you on the very first slide of the assembly, has become a bestseller. And it's influenced people all over the world in many different fields, including business, education and sport. I've read the book and I feel it's a fascinating book, and it's certainly helped me since I read it about 5 years ago, clarifying my thinking and the way that I approach any problems. And there's a lot you can learn from that, and hence this assembly. So what do we mean then? I've given you some elements already of a fixed mindset, but let's just compare now on this slide here the fixed and growth mindset. So what is a fixed mindset? Basically, the belief in a fixed mindset is that intelligence is static. You are born bright, basically, or you feel challenged by things. You can't get over those challenges. So basically, intelligence is a fixed phenomenon. It leads to a desire to look smart at all times. So basically, you don't like any criticism. Looking smart and being right, being in control, if you like, is the key thing here. No matter what, you never want to look, if you forgive the phrase, stupid. You always want to be the smart one. Basically, if you have a fixed mindset, you avoid challenges because you may fail. So you don't want to have those challenges because obviously you've got to deal with failure then. And you don't like that because you want to look smart at all times and have all the answers. Secondly, you give up easily due to obstacles. It's a lot easier to fail gracefully in that way, and just give up and just think, well, why try? I can't do it anyway. Let's not even try. You see effort as fruitless. Why do we need to put effort into things? You can either do it or you can't do it. If you can do it, it should be done as easily as possible. You ignore useful feedback. Why do you need feedback? You're always right in your mind and nothing can be developed. You've got intelligence, it's fixed, and it won't change. So what use is feedback to you? And also, feel threatened by others' success and input. So for example, if you are leading a team of people, whether you are a sports coach, whether you're a head of a school like me, or whether you're a business leader, for example, you always have to be right and in control. You don't like other people having that input, obviously question your authority, questioning the way you do things or why you've done something, because you are the person in control and you can't be wrong on these matters. So that is a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is very different to that. Basically, as fixed mindset people believe that intelligence is fixed, growth mindset people believe it can be developed. It leads to a desire to learn and therefore a tendency to embrace challenges, persist despite obstacles. So even though you will face obstacles in your life There will be setbacks, you will hit walls effectively. You can get around those, and you believe you can do this. You see effort as the path to mastery. So basically, effort is important. It's not necessarily about the percentage score you get in the test. It's the effort you put in to get there that is key. And that really is what drives the growth mindset. The belief that through effort, you can achieve things. You learn from criticism. So your teachers may give you feedback. If you are working, your colleagues, your immediate managers around you may give you feedback. You see that as developmental and important, unlike the fixed mindset person who sees it as threatening. And also, with a growth mindset, you are inspired by the success of others. You don't see it as a threat. So if you're leading teams, you want the people on that team to also come up with answers and to do really well and take some of the limelight. All the limelight is not fixed on you. So that is a growth mindset person. So if we sum up overall, if you have a growth mindset, it's the belief that we can learn and improve at all times. It does not advocate setting outlandish goals. So for example, if you start playing the piano, the chances are you are never going to be the best piano player in the world. However, you can improve. So whatever you set your mind to, you can improve incrementally, step by step, on that journey in that particular task. It does go beyond the power of positive thinking. When the growth mindset theory first came out, people did muddle it, if you like, with the power of positive thinking. The belief you can achieve anything in life, that kind of value. I can do anything. Yes, you can. It's nice to think that. However, as I was saying before, there are limiting factors. We won't all be the best in our fields at certain things. However, the growth mindset believes that you can improve. It's not fixed. You are not just stuck at one level. You can improve. So that's very different to believing that you can achieve anything and conquer the world effectively. The growth mindset is a very realistic set of values and thoughts. Working hard is not enough. We've got to be clear on that. We can all work hard, but you've got to be able to actually put into practice what you need to do to get to the next step. So it needs a clear plan and a strategy for improvement when you are undertaking these tasks to get to that next level. It's not a case of working hard, because effectively that could be the so-called hamster wheel effect, couldn't it? If you keep doing the same thing that is not working, but keep working hard at it, you aren't going to improve. You need to obviously have a clear plan, step by step, about where you are going to go. So for example, in my job, we have a school improvement plan. So I have ideas, and my SLT and staff do as well, about how we'd like to improve the school. Well, we have a plan to do that. We can't just revolutionise everything in a day or a week or a month. We have to have goals, step by step, to get to where we want to get. So it all requires very careful planning. As I've alluded to before as well in this talk, every step on the journey accumulates. That is a really important factor. So you won't always see the progress. You won't always feel it, but you are making progress if you follow these steps, and you will get to where you want to get. And when you do, it is really satisfying. Although Dweck recognises that people with fixed mindsets can be very successful, and that's true. In her book, she gives numerous examples of people with a fixed mindset who have been very successful. And when you think about it, and thinking about leadership and the way we lead organisations has changed in the last 30 years, certainly. If we go back to the 1980s, Dweck refers to this a lot in her book, about the leaders in industry and sport at that time. They were seen as figures who were really powerful, all-knowing figures, who were never wrong. And a lot of people ran organisations in that way, quite aggressively in some ways. So for example, staff welfare to them and welfare of their employees wasn't always a big consideration. It was all about reaching the top and staying at the top and do whatever's necessary to get there and to keep there as well. So that is very different to Dweck's thoughts about how you do that, about building that growth mindset amongst people. So things have changed there in terms of the way we consider leadership of people. She's also embraced criticism of her theory. People do say it doesn't work. There's no real strong evidence that this theory will work. There's been lots of testing going on around the world in different countries using the growth mindset theory with certain cohorts of students compared to another group who didn't use the growth mindset theory. And sometimes that evidence can be inconclusive. However, a lot of places have said it had a notable impact on student outcomes. So, as always with research projects and theories, people do espouse them and live by them. Other people will criticise them. And that has happened. And Dweck has really embraced that and taken part in forums discussing that and openly debating whether the theory really does work. And the main thing really is that her work has influenced other thinkers and writers. So lots of people in sport, in industry, do refer to Dweck's work. To me, that makes it powerful. And certainly, as I've said so far in this presentation, I found it useful and it helps inform me when I am undertaking strategies and trying to improve organisations. So currently, in my role at Caldy, I do try to adopt a growth mindset outlook when I am undertaking any kind of planning or trying to work with staff. And I try to build in those kind of values and belief sets and mindset, if you like, that was outlined earlier in the presentation. And I'm sure it's something that you can do as well. So if we apply it to school and your studies now, you may think I can never be good at maths, I can never be top of the class, I can never be the best in history. Whichever subject it is, okay. As we were saying before, there will be limiting factors there, but you can address those and you can improve by following the model that I outlined before. So that's the growth mindset theory. After this presentation, you'll have the chance to watch a short video. Next week, we're going to stay on the theme of psychology and look at resilience. In the meantime, please stay safe and stay well, and I will speak to you all very soon and hope to see you back in school. Please click on the link here to watch a short video on growth mindset.